And we've got to start with Cole Palmer, Darren Ambrose. We know he's a Manchester United fan, chippy chips, etc. The Chelsea fans aren't going to like that story, are they?
They're not. I don't think Liam Rosenior's going to like that either, to be honest. And he's had his injury problems, but he's the main player. He's the best player at Chelsea, let's be honest. When he's on form, he's the best player. But Manchester United are on the up, shall we say. And yes, they've got an interim manager at the moment in Michael Carrick. Who knows where that's going to go? Who knows who's the manager's going to be? Can't see that happening this January, to be honest. There's an awful lot of money, again, if they can get that done this January. But that may be one for the future. You know what Chelsea's model is like. They buy the young players and then sell them on for a lot of profit. Well, he's still only 23, Cole Palmer, by the way. He seems like he's been around for ages, but still only 23. So I can see this one rumbling on till the summer, for sure.
Pivotal to Chelsea, though, isn't he, in their future? And Rosenior, if he's to be there for anywhere near the length of his contract, is going to want to keep hold of Cole Palmer. Go back. Right, time now for our transfer update. Jean-Philippe Mateta has told Crystal Palace that he wants to leave in this window amid interest from Juventus, Aston Villa and more clubs as well. Arsenal's Ethan Nwaneri was in France for a medical yesterday ahead of a loan move to Marseille. Chelsea remain in talks to sign £56 million rated centre-back Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes. Everton and Nottingham Forest have inquired about the Sunderland striker Wilson Isidore. Ryan is expected in the UK for a medical with Bournemouth ahead of a £30 million move from Vasco da Gama. Fulham, meanwhile, they've approached Manchester City about a deal for Oscar Bob, with talks ongoing. Burnley want to sign West Ham midfielder James Ward-Prowse on loan until the end of the season. James McAtee could leave Nottingham Forest on loan before deadline day. Middlesbrough are back in for Brighton's Jeremy Sarmiento as they look to hijack Birmingham's deal for the attacking midfielder. Celtic are set to sign the Borussia Mönchengladbach striker Thomas Kivankara on loan with an option to buy in the summer.
He took time to bed in, shall we say.
How does that song go? There ain't no striker better than Jean-Philippe Mateta. He's been good,
sing it if you want to.
But there are a couple of strikers that have been better. This is the most goals in the Premier League since February 2024, so essentially since Oliver Glasner came in. And he's in some esteemed company there, you have to say. Erling Haaland way out in front, nobody gets near him, but Alexander Isak's on 36, Mohamed Salah is on 36, and Mateta is there on 35. So he's in the company of the best forward players in the Premier League over the last few years.
Dave, are we saying forward players? Are we saying like down the middle as like a 9? Because you know, as you look at that,
this is all goals, all goal scorers since 2024.
But I'm saying, like, in that specific position, because you look at it and you're like, Haaland, yes. Alexander Isak, yes. Mateta, yes. Ollie Watkins, yes. But Salah, Palmer and Bremo, I'm not having them as out-and-out number 9s. Goal scorers, yes, from different positions, but from an out-and-out number 9 perspective, no. So for me, I look at it and like there is better, but there is also only a small group of 9s.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point to make. And we talked a moment ago about his stock almost never being higher. We can have a look at his estimated transfer value over time. So I want to make a couple of points here. Vicky, you pointed out that he didn't have the best of starts. So he joined Palace early 2021 in the winter window, and he struggled a little bit, first under Roy Hodgson, then under Patrick Vieira, and you can see his estimated transfer value dropped and stabilised slightly. And then look what happened when Oliver Glasner came in, which is the second annotation there. You can see his transfer value has soared, which has essentially been because of his output since Oliver Glasner has come in. And now we're looking at £35 million as his estimated transfer value, not necessarily saying that is what Palace would be asking for. That is just an estimated one from the data that we have. So his output has been great. And now we're going to talk a little bit about goals versus XG. And I know, right, everyone at home, sometimes XG isn't your cup of tea, is it?
No, definitely. It's never my cup of tea.
I get it. So in one game, XG doesn't tell us a lot. But why it's used as a metric is because over a sustained period of time, it is indicative of performance. So we have got, from the time that he joined Palace in the bottom left corner here, along the horizontal, right until up until now, January 2026 on the far side. The blue line is his goals scored, and the green line is his XG. So a couple of things we can talk about to start with. For those XG haters out there, and I'm sure there are a few, look how close the lines are, showing, particularly at the start here, that XG is indicative of performance. They track fairly similar, and then we get to Oliver Glasner's appointment, And you're looking midway through 2024, the goal shooter.
Yeah.
So he's overperforming what is expected of him. And XG, if you're unaware, is a kind of measure of chance quality. So for a striker, are you getting in the right positions to score goals? Are you taking shots at the right time in good areas? So there is an overperformance here from Oliver Glasner when he's in charge. And then look where we are now at the start of 2026. Those lines are closing back together again. So he's regressing a little bit to what we're expecting his performance level to be. A lot of Palace fans in recent weeks have been critical of Mateta, saying his performance level has dropped off. Maybe it has, maybe the team has dropped off. But what I'm actually saying here is not necessarily his performance has dropped off to an underperforming level, but actually he's going back to what we expect him to do. He had a brilliant purple patch under Oliver Glasner midway through 2024 and really through to midway 2025. And now we're getting back to the real Jean-Philippe Mateta. Still good, but some Palace fans might disagree with what's happened over time. XG, what are you saying?
I just always, as I look at it, and he's going about shots and when to shoot, when to not, but it comes down to confidence.
Yeah.
Also, that plays a big factor because when you're scoring goals and you're on that run, full of confidence, you shoot from anywhere. You just feel like you're going to score. When you're not, you may look to make that extra pass. And then you may not. Sometimes it may even be, when you're on form, it may take 3 ricochets and you're in the right, and it just lands at your feet and scores. Sometimes, when you're not in form, can do exactly that. Go left-hand side, go the right. It just comes to it. I just think sometimes with stats, the biggest thing is, for me, is that it's used when it needs to be used and when people want to pick something up.
Though, with that big breaking news today regarding the future of Crystal Palace star striker Jean-Philippe Mateta. Carve, what can you tell us?
Well, look, Jean-Philippe Mateta wants to leave Crystal Palace 100%, but I'm not sure Crystal Palace are going to let him go. He held talks about extending his contract last summer. Nothing was agreed. Lots of clubs were interested in signing him last summer. For instance, Juventus, AC Milan, Atalanta, Tottenham as well. But no move happened. Now, this month, he's got interest from clubs, again, like Juventus, who've been trying to sign him on loan, and also Aston Villa. His feeling is he wants a new challenge. He's got back in, well, not back in, he's got into the France squad. He's desperate to play in the World Cup this summer, and he wants to move to a club who are in the Champions League or who are going to be in the Champions League next summer. But you always have to remember, Crystal Palace are effectively run by Steve Parish. He's a very, very tough negotiator. He never lets anybody leave the club on the cheap. So I'm not sure Jean-Philippe Mateta, even though he wants to leave, will get his wish.
Manchester United closing in on £65 million double blockbuster as Cole Palmer eyes sensational Manchester homecoming from Chelsea, while Crystal Palace striker Jean-Philippe Mateta confirms he's willing to join Carrick's revolution. Palmer unhappy in London despite £100 million plus valuation. Hometown hero ready for Old Trafford return after Derby heroics. Palmer transfer latest. England star misses Manchester friends, idolizes Rooney. Chelsea contract to 2033 no barrier with £65 million opening bid planned. Carrick sees Palmer as creative number 10 to unlock United attack post-Derby success. Previously United Academy target before City path. Mateta Palace Exit. Palace open sales post-Glasner resignation after Guehi's £20 minus 30 metres City move. Mateta's 18 months left triggers £30 million plus valuation. Striker keen on United's top6 project under Carrick despite Juventus interest. Perfect foil for Hojlund up top.